this corruption flu. Baba to Anna, they all are too much concerned about this fever. Tata Tea makes its campaign called Jago Day. Is it really you wake up? Good morning, respected sir and dear friends. I am Shubham Agarwal along with my group members Chandan, Manish, Sudeep and Pranav Sen. Today we discuss about that corruption is morally bad but economically beneficial for national prosperity. We are against the motion. What is corruption? Corruption is a common word which has become the topic of discussion in all areas of life, corner of the world and all people of the globe. In India, Transparency International assessment that truckers pay $5 billion annually, whereas two-thirds of the Indians live less than on $2 per day. Political, bureaucrats, corporate and individual corruption is the major concern in India. In 2005, it was found that more than 55% of Indians had first-hand experience for paying bribes or influencing, peddling to get their job done in public offices successfully. Baba Ramdev and Anna Hazare put their step forward to kick out the faces of corruption in India. But here the question arises, from whose faces we are going to peel off the mask, as all are already washing their hands with corruption? If we are going to bring this Jan Lokpal bill, who all people are going to implement it? The cruel politicians or we the common people? Corruption is a disease which not just killed only Indians but our nationalism too. Who is responsible for it? We itself. Yes, we are the responsible for it. For a very short example, if there would be any accident near the roadside, what do you do at that point of time? Will you pay sum of 100 rupees to the traffic police or spending on that accidental issues thousands of rupees? What do you do when your child needs a good amount of donation to get admission in good schools and colleges? Just see what our government do with our taxes. Keeping and maintenance of terrorists called Ajmal Amir Kasab, who shows the face of terrorism in every Indian's heart. But we are the shameless Indians. We are spending for his luxurious lifestyle through our taxes, our pocket. India observed as the first anniversary of terror attack on Mumbai. The government of Maharashtra spent so far 31 crore rupees, nearly 8.5 lakh per day for his. We are the whistleblowers and we are fighting against this deadly corruption. The good time has come. We have to stand head to head this bad affected flu. Now further, I would like to call Mr. Chandan. He will talk about political corruption. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubham. Next we will talk about the democracy. For a democracy country, it is very important how is leader of that country is. It is very important how the people of that country is who are electing the leader and sending them to take care of the country. Because it's not a matter about one person, it's not a matter about one village or colony, it's not a matter about a district, it's not a matter about the state, it's a matter about the country where 1.4 trillion heart is beating for their life. Friends, just think about our politician leader which we are having. Are they really justifying their job? You will get the negative answer. Because they are doing whatever they are want, whatever they believe. In India, 70% of population is living in rural area. Out of them, 40% are illiterate. And politicians are taking profit of that by playing emotion of the common man. Friends, it's not about the politician. We are the people who make them to do so. They are not looking to those eyes who are looking for, their eyes are hopeful for some change in their life. The empty stomach and the whole life they are looking for someone that someday somebody came to them and they will solve all the problem. But it is not, till now we didn't get that much of politician in our country. Everyone are coming in the power and they are doing their work what they are supposed to. They are not doing the real things which they should do for them. Sometimes they are targeting casteism, sometimes they are targeting religion. But they are not seeing the person then who should see. They are going to at the time of election, they are going corner of the country and they are meeting those persons who are rich and Muslim, but they are not looking those eyes who need improvement in their life. Just sake of food, they are doing these things. They are having food in the same plate, they are having food in the same plate, they are having their hand in shoulder of that common man, just a shake of food. They are going there, they are doing, and they are playing with their emotion. They are doing those things which are not for politician. Friend, I would say that in our country or for any democracy country, politicians are backbone of that country, because we cannot do those things which they can, because they have a power. We are giving them power to do. If our backbone will be not support to us, how we will run, how we will walk. The same condition with our country. The politician leaders are coming to the face and they are doing snatching, robbery, so on, which we are having a list of that. I am not trying to take you all in a part of emotion, because this is the real mirror of our country where we are lacking. We don't have such a kind of leader who can take our country to the top level. Since last so many years, we are still in a developing country, because we are not doing those things which we should do. Internationally, it doesn't mean that we don't have those things we should be having. Internationally, we are showing our impact, but when the matter is come for corruption, for politicians, the company is getting off for our country, because they are not finding that much of honesty in our country and they are not ready to invest. Because if they want to invest, they have to go through with the politician. They have to pay for that. They have to do those things. There are so many a list of this. The politician, all by them, all having this. If we will talk about the politician, that we can see the hottest politicians are in our country are doing those scandal and scam. Like Lalu Yadav, Mayawati, so on. They have did so many, Raja, they all have did these things, the scandal. What do you think that this leader will do for something for us? No, we have to stand for those. Our country, total population of our country for industry is 56,000 crore. Why not we can stand for those? We are the people who will change our country, who will change the tendency of the democracy. We are the person who will take India to the top level. Why not we can stand for this? For further, I am going to all my friends. Manish, he will continue with the scam. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandan. My friend Chandan talked about political corruption. Now I will talk about a scam. But what is the meaning of a scam? A scam is nothing but an illegal trick, usually with the purpose of getting money from the people or avoiding paying tax, which needs quick profit. In India, scam started since 1948. In 1948, we have a scam called Jeep purchase of just rupees 80 lakh only. In year 1956 and 57, we have a scam called BHU fund and Mudra scandal. This scam does not exceed more than 1.5 crore. But is this scam affecting our country? Later, from 1990 to 2010, we have a scam called security scam, Indian bank rip-off scam, CRV scam, import scam, footer scam, stamp paper scam, stock exchange scam, the Satyam scam, the 2G scam, and the last but not the least, the scam which hurts our Indian pride, the scam called 2G, CWG scam. If in total the sum of all scam is more than $20 trillion. But where this money is going? We are having only $1.4 trillion in Swiss franc. What about the remaining? As per the recent figure, the Indian companies which are investing in foreign countries has invested 28.16 crore US dollar in British Virgin Islands during 2010-11 fiscal year. This amount has crossed the mark of 60.94 crore US dollar during November 2011. The recent trend shows that out of 10 foreign countries where our companies were investing, 7 has got the reputation of diverting black money. Mauritius, as we know, Mauritius has emerged as hot export for investment in the recent year. But ironically, this country has shown a decline in grabbing Indian companies. However, Britain, USA has attracted high amount of investment from Indian companies. Now one question is arising: is India a poor country? If yes, then what about the Swiss bank, a personal deposit of $1,500 billion, which is misappropriated, which is 13 times larger than our country tap. If you will say India is not poor, then what about those people, 1.35 billion people or 37% people who are earning less than $2 each day? What about those farmers who are committing suicide? As per the recent figure from 1995 to 2010, we have 2,56,913 people has committed suicide. At last, I will conclude by saying this, that if we will get back 1.4 trillion money, what we can do? This 1.4 trillion money is 27% more than our GDP. We can, after bringing this money, we can have 2.4 crore primary healthcare center, which we are lacking. We will have 24.1 lakh schools, 14.6 crore low investment houses for the poor people, those who are not having homes, 14.6 lakh kilometer road and electricity for 6 lakh villages who don't know the meaning of electricity. If 80 years old people will come and stand, then why we cannot? Thank you. Next part will be carried out by my friend Sudip Bhuiya about how corruption is affecting our nation and world. Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Good morning, sir. Corruption is morally bad but economically beneficial for nation's prosperity. Is it true? Is that revealing the real meaning? C stands for corruption and C stands for crime and C stands for common people. Greed, graft, politics, bribery, dirty money. Just another day in the life of a nation still rated among the most corrupted in the world. Scandalous scams that grab the headlines, destroy the reputations and leave the country to the land of poverty. As a result of which, from the very day of independence, we keep on moving our country to the developing world, but not. I will chalk on certain points which will make it very clear to all of you how the impact of corruption is deteriorating our economic condition. Corruption cost on economy. The actual bribe paid all over the world is $1 trillion all over the worldwide, both developing and developed countries, since India is a developing country. Companies, but percent, many percentage of companies are paying bribes. 15% of industrialized companies pay bribes to win and to retain their business. Corruption is real and remains significant to the Central and Southeast Europe. 31% of the businessmen used to pay for the winning their business. Means standing in new standstill business. Corruption in construction sectors. The Tanzanian Civil Engineering Contractors Association, TACECA, 90% of the contractors used to pay 10 to 15% of their actual value of contract. The corruption discourages the investments. Investment in corrupt countries is more than the investment in uncorrupted countries. Uncorrupt countries just is more than 20%. Social cost of economy. Looking up towards the Mexican city, the low-income houses is paying 24% of their household earnings. Later, looking towards the Southeast Africa, 68% were paying bribe for the betterment of their facilitation. When it stands in Kenya, it is 51% and Ukraine it is 55%. Just looking towards the medical factors. In our country, India, which we say it is a world of country of freedom, Bangalore, in a patient in marital ward, maternity ward, they are paying $22 just to get a relevant and efficient medical care. Looking towards the education sector, very simple and very common. 87% of the parents were paying bribes like contributors to contribution. Contributors, parents, contributions, teachers, just for the child's education. Means education is commercialized. The grand corruption, about $50 billion is to be paid, deposited each year in World Bank and tax havens. In $250 billion is paid to the traditional and economic sectors, and it is to be deposited in every sector in Western banks each year. The sources of corruption, if you look at the Kabakai government pays $12.5 billion in luxury cars. This money, if you estimate, it will be paying 8 years in a school of 25,000 children can survive, can get their foods and can get their bills, can get their education free. Just looking out the money, fraction and divided like a cut piece of bread piece sandwich. The sources of corruption, it is about the government officials. If you look at the government officials, they are paying, in Mexico and China, the corruption money is come to be about 87%. Looking towards the India and China, it is 91%. The bribes come out from these countries. And the most efficient is 82% from Ukraine. That shows India stands second, 91%. At last, most of us believe in judicial sectors. It has been collected by the information from Transparency International that 30 countries out of 48 were totally involved in corruption. Means judgment can be done by corruption. So there is a graph of how corruption index can perfectly show. Sri Lanka is, I think, is raising 3 more than 3. And if you look at the China, the growth will slightly increase in the stripe, and India since second. This shows how India is deteriorated due to this corruption. The economy is going down. What impact is going to show in our young generations? Now, I will say, the very first statement I used, corruption is morally bad but economically beneficial for national prosperity. Is that what nation is prosperity due to corrupt economy? If the national economy is going to flourish our country? The latter part will be concluded by my friend Cruption, and it would be very precise and show how corruption reveals its strength in every sector. Thank you.
Thank you, Sudhir. We earlier talked about swine flu, bird flu and corruption flu. Now the question arises, what is the relation between swine flu to corruption flu? When swine flu came to India in 2009, we refused to take Japanese product. When bird flu hit the Indians' life, we refused to eat egg and chickens. But what we are doing when India has surrounded by corruption flu? In India, corruption is 1 million times bigger than IF test. the same amount of time deposit the deepest ocean. Who are the man who is affected by corruption? Is that government who went for reported crime and asked for bribe? Or is 1.3 million children forced to go sex centers instead of going to school? In India, we have a scheme called midday meal. For that, poor children in rural area getting a one-time meal inside the school. But is these poor children find any sufficient hygiene food inside the school? In UP, there is more than 50,000 panchayats accused to take midday meal money, and still state government yet not rescued the money. Since 1948 to 2010, we have lost more than 20 trillion. And that makes India is a place where 45 crore people earn less than $1.25 per day. Where 25 crore people die, where 25 people sleep without food, where 87,000 Indians die due to cause of hunger. We all are talking about black money in Swiss account, black money in Switzerland. If we can bring back black money in India, what will happen? If all are going to get petrol in rupees 25, diesel rupees 18, milk rupees 8, and you need now to pay tax next 20 years. We can also open 1,500 Oxford-like universities in India. 2,000 plus hospitals we can open with free medicines. A term is called CPI, means Corruption Perception Index, which directly affects our FDI. According to CPI, India ranked 95th with a score of 3.1 out of scale 10. And due to 1 point increase, CPI will affect our FDI by 11%. Through the petty corruption, we have lost more than 20,000 crore. Then how corruption is good for the society? How corruption is good for the economy? We all talk about we have legalized the corruption in India as the entire nation. But do you know, if you legalize the corruption, what will happen? The central minister will get 50 crore rupees per month. State minister will get rupees 40 crore. The MP will get 30 crore. The IS officer will get 20 crore. A clerk will get 50 lakh. A peon rupees 50,000. So how corruption is good? We have to stand up against corruption. We are the whistleblower and we are still one. We cannot do everything, but we can do something. Because we cannot do everything, we are not refused to do something which we can do. We are the whistleblower and we are fight against the corruption. Do you?